Welcome to the Vanilla to Vixen podcast. This show contains adult content, so if you are under 18 or easily offended, please switch off now. Mr. and Mrs. N are not qualified relationship counsellors. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Now the disclaimer is out of the way. Sit back, relax, and enjoy our journey from Vanilla to Vixen.
Welcome to episode 131 of Vanilla to Vixen. We are your hosts, Mr. and Mrs. N, and we're also sometimes known as
the Naughty Couple.
Hello, Mrs. N.
Hello, Mr. N.
Here we are once again in the fabulous little tower. That is the naughty tower.
The Naughty Tower.
It is. Well, what an exciting episode we've got for you today. We're turning over to the listeners once again.
Yes, we are.
So
I like when we do this.
Yes, it's good, isn't it? We've got like mountains and mountains of letters. Well, not really, because no one sent us a letter since 1974.
Yeah, somebody shot the carrier pigeon.
That's it. But for those of you that have been with us a long time, you remember our gorgeous agony aunt Roxy. And she still does Dangerous Curves.
She does.
At Liberty Elite.
We were very lucky to have her as a guest.
I know. And she does a fantastic party called Kinky Curves.
Yes.
Now, which is really good.
Yeah.
Which kind of combines a bit of kink with a bit of swinging. But because she's such a busy person, we don't get her on the show like we used to.
No, unfortunately.
So we've got all these mountain and letters that I'm lying about because they're all emails or messages on Fab. And we've got loads of them, and we thought we'd gather a couple up today of kind of the most popular questions asked.
Yes.
And there's one particular big long message which we will read out as well. So we've got quite a few things to get through today, so we might as well get straight into it.
Okie dokie.
But before I start, I've got a little message for you that was sent in specially.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me like that for?
I don't trust you.
No, this is very true. So, a couple is watching a documentary on TV, okay?
Yeah.
And it's about an African tribe whose men all had 24-inch penises.
Wow.
I know. And when a male reaches a certain age, a string is tied around the end of his knob and a weight is attached to the other end.
Okay.
In the documentary. And after a while, the weight stretches the length of the knob to 24 inches long. Mrs. N's just booking a flight right now. And late that evening, as the husband was getting out of the shower, his wife looked down at him and said, "What do you say we try that African string and weight procedure?" That'd be you, Mrs. N, wouldn't it? Shh. Her husband agreed, and they tied a string and weight to it. A few days later, the wife asked her husband, "How is our tribal experiment coming along?" "Well, it looks like we're halfway there," he said. "Wow, you've grown to 12 inches already," said the astonished wife. "No," he said, "it's just turned fucking black." That's a naughty one, wasn't it?
That's a naughty one. Funny, but very naughty.
You know the address to send complaints into.
So before we get on to today's show,
Yes.
I have a shout out.
Okay.
And it's a shout out to Roger and the cabin girl.
Beautiful, beautiful couple who were at Vanilla to Vixen.
They were. And while we were standing outside after the evening had finished and we were just all about to go home and it was absolutely freezing to death, we decided to have this long, in-depth conversation. And they happened to tell us about how they listen to the podcast.
I know.
And bless them, they have to wait until they can sit in their car with their
earmuffs on.
Costa coffee.
I thought you were going to say earphones.
No, with their Costa coffee. Freezing to death, waiting for the next episode. So big shout out, guys. I hope you're all nice and toasty while you're listening to this.
Turn the heated seats on.
Yes.
So let's dive straight into it.
Okay.
So these are no particular order. We're just grabbing them as they are. I think we'll start off with the extra long one. back to the 24 inches.
I am partial to an extra long one.
It says, Dear Mr. and Mrs. N, I must be the first non-swinger that has ever listened to every single one of your podcasts. I'm completely monogamous and cannot at present see myself as an active participant in the naughty hobby. I bet you were thinking to yourselves, why would a single lady in her early 40s listen to over 100 hours of swinging podcasts when she has no interest in becoming a swinger?
No, not at all. This is my whole thing.
The answer is I'm trying to better understand the man I am in love with. Oh, and it's very close to Valentine's Day.
It is.
So there we go, a bit of a romantic theme going on. I met this guy on Bumble 2 years ago. He'd just come out of a long and happy relationship. He was honest with me from the start and told me that he and his ex-partner had tried swinging as a way to reignite their dual-flagging relationship, and it didn't work. However, he had fallen in love with the lifestyle. When he first told me all this, I saw red flags and thought, this is not going to be the man for me. We are not going to be compatible at all. I saw myself as a one-man woman and could never envisage having sex with someone else, let alone watch the man I love have sex with another woman. I grew up in a very strict household where sex wasn't talked about. It was something you did in the privacy of your bedroom. You certainly never talked in public about your sex life. Wouldn't be a fan of our podcast. I've never particularly been a sexual person, to the point it frustrates me. I almost feel like I am missing out on something everyone else is enjoying. I have only ever had sex with 3 men, my first boyfriend, second long-term partner, and the guy I met 2 years ago. All at once? Mr. N, behave. The sex I had with this man was mind-blowing, like nothing I have experienced before. To me, I didn't see it as sex, but pure lovemaking. He too said it was special, and it was a connection, and more than sex. We have seen each other off and on for about 2 years. We have admitted to each other that we have deep feelings and we are in love. The problem is, he says he cannot commit monogamously to me and give up the swinging lifestyle. When he first told me this, I thought he was just a player. However, he told me to listen to your podcast to understand that the naughty hobby is more than just sex. It's about friendships and a community. He feels it's almost a part of him. Your show has opened my eyes massively. I am now unsure as to what I really want. I know I am totally in love with this man. He is my soulmate. I have recently tried watching porn and even found myself masturbating to it, something I have never done in the past. Your show with porn maker Inca Winter was amazing. Do you remember that?
I do. She was phenomenal.
She was amazing, and she does porn predominantly for ladies.
Yes.
So, yeah. It was so informative. I have always mentally blocked out images of him with other women. I know he attends swinging parties and we treat it like it doesn't exist. He has tried to talk about it many times, but I tell him I don't want to know. When he is with me, I want him and him alone. After listening to your podcasts, I feel I'm going in the wrong direction. I want to be more open as a person and no longer want to keep things locked away. I know my upbringing has made me this way. The trouble is, I just don't know if I'm ready to jump into the naughty hobby with the man I love. I have no idea how to approach this scary new lifestyle. I almost feel like I want to visit a party alone to see what it is all about. This probably sounds crazy, but I feel safer knowing I wouldn't see him with someone else to begin with. I don't know how I would feel going into a club and seeing a woman who was familiar to him, knowing they'd been intimate together. No doubt, still while he was with me. Likewise, I obviously have some sort of interest, otherwise I wouldn't listen to every single one of your episodes. I apologise for my ramblings. Never apologise.
No.
And this extremely long email. I wondered if you have any words of wisdom for me. I don't want to live without the man I call my soulmate, but likewise, I don't know if I dare try the naughty hobby, let alone commit to a lifetime of it with him. Yours truly, and we're going to call her C. She has put a name on, but I'm just going to call her C. Wow.
Yeah, wow.
She's with a guy, and he's clearly obviously been honest.
Absolutely, which is, I commend him for that. Because it's a big thing to announce to somebody, especially who, isn't in the naughty hobby, possibly doesn't really understand.
And he admits he's got feelings for her.
Absolutely. I mean, there are so many things that you can do here.
I mean, the thing is, as well, on his perspective, the naughty hobby is like opening Pandora's box.
Yes.
We've said this before, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once you've opened it, sometimes you can't go back. It does change you. And he obviously, like in her email, he says that he feels it's part of him. It's intrinsic in him.
Yes.
So I guess to step away from that, at least he's being honest, and he says, I'm not sure I could do that.
Exactly. And I mean, we've had people on the podcast before who have been in the naughty hobby and then met somebody vanilla and stepped away from the naughty hobby.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they felt like they weren't their full selves.
And the words that they have said to us, I remember the conversation, is that they almost resented the person because they'd given up a lifestyle.
Yes.
We don't like calling it a lifestyle, but to all intents and purposes, it can be, a way of how you feel. It's intrinsic in you.
Yes.
And so you're giving all that up, and then if your relationship doesn't work out, I guess you feel like you're left with nothing. And I suppose you feel like you've given this thing up for the person, and if the person then doesn't return something in equal measures, you might start to resent that person.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, that's his side of it, I guess.
It is. And, the main thing is, as we always bang on about, is communication. And you need to be totally honest with each other.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether C has openly said how she feels.
Obviously, in the email, she says that she doesn't discuss it. He's tried to discuss it. She's trying to open up. I think there's also a little tell in that email as well. And I'm only guessing here, C, so please forgive me. But she says that she's had this upbringing where you don't talk about sex.
Yeah.
And you can clearly see that she's really trying. But she just doesn't know how she's going to feel.
No. And this isn't a journey that is short.
No, not at all.
This is a long-term journey. Even if we go back to when we first started to fantasize and our particular journey, it was a very long time before we even went to a club.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, we weren't even considering ourselves as swingers at all. It was almost like, no, I'm not a swinger.
He's obviously a member of a local club or a club. So my suggestion to them might be, don't go to his old stomping ground.
No.
So her fear is that she will bump into someone that he knows.
Yes.
So how about, C, trying out a brand new club, even if you have to travel 100 miles, go somewhere that is new to both of you. Rather than sort of thinking, right, okay, I'll go on my own and see what it's like. Because it's going to be a completely different experience.
It will be a completely different experience if you go on your own.
On your own anyway. So set yourself boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, the best thing to do, take the pressure off. So first of all, the main thing is you need to have an honest conversation with him.
100%.
Exactly what you've said to us, very open about it and how you feel.
Yeah.
If you do then decide after you've had that honest conversation that you would like to go to a club, then I suggest that you decide to go, but you have the rules that you're not going to play with anybody.
100%.
You're just going to be with each other.
It's just a social.
It's a social.
Yeah.
You just want to see what it's like. So that takes any pressure off and any worry that you are going to be worried that he wants to go off and play.
And you are probably going to shock the shit out of him by saying that you're considering this.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a big thing for both of you.
And if you go to somewhere new, that's going to be something that you're creating just your two.
Yes, which I think is really important. This needs to be a new journey for both of you.
Absolutely.
Not what he's done in the past or what you've done in the past or anything else. This is your journey together. It needs to be new, and it needs to be with your boundaries or rules or whatever works for both of you. And the only way you can ever achieve that is if you talk open and honestly with each other.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend that that's what you do. Not saying go to a club next week. It could be weeks, it could be months before you even go to a club, but you need to start off by communicating with each other and being totally, totally honest.
Or even just try a swingers social.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, a swingers social, you know that nothing's going to happen, and that takes the pressure off completely. So have a look around your area. You don't mention which area you're from.
No.
But have a look in your area. Look at a swingers social. If it's too close, try a club, you know, that's miles away, that's brand new to both of you. And then afterwards, you're going to be able to have that conversation with him going, what did you like? What didn't you like?
Exactly.
This is what I liked. Oh, my God, you know. And you will have, hopefully, that support there from him.
And I'm sure if he is your soulmate, as you say, he will happily go at whatever pace is right for both of you.
Yes.
I mean, you and I have talked about it.
He listens to the podcast.
He does.
Obviously, because he's recommended it.
Yeah, well, thank you for that.
But
all I'm saying is, from when we first started to fantasise, which was back in 2006-ish.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, it was only when did I actually say that I was comfortable for you to play with another woman?
I don't know. We do, one day goes into another.
I know. We're talking not that long ago, a couple of years ago.
A few years ago.
So this is what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that you automatically have to accept the fact that he's going to be with another woman. This isn't about that.
Yeah,
this is about your new journey together, and you go at your own pace and what's comfortable for both of you. And that way you could end up having a most amazing experience and becoming more and more close. And
in a couple of years, you'll be starting a podcast.
You will.
See, we wish you all the best.
We do, my lovely. I mean, by all means, feel free to send us any messages. Let us know how you're getting on.
Absolutely.
But we are always here to listen and hopefully give advice that helps. And so
try going on the Discord.
Absolutely.
Try going on Discord. We've got our Discord group on V2V. If you go onto v2v.uk, it's got all the details there of how to get onto our Discord chat. Just chat and, online with people in the lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ladies only room in there. You can talk to the other ladies and get their experiences and what they've been through.
Our Discord chat isn't a pick-up place. No. It's not a place to, literally hit on other people. It's strictly a real social hub for people who understand the naughty hobby, and who like the podcast. Chat a little bit and just watch the fun that goes on. Try doing that for starters. I mean, you've obviously got an interest in sex because, like you say, you watch porn.
Yeah.
So that little spark's there. It may not be for you. The hobby, you might try it and you might absolutely hate it, but you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
So make 25 a daring year for you. Give it a go.
All the best.
Keep us informed.
Yes.
Shall we move on to the next one?
Yes. Do you want me to read the next one?
Go for it, Mrs. N.
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. N. I am new to the scene. Single lady, 35 years old. Used to be a size 8 and athletic. Then I suffered a long-term illness. So naturally, my body has changed somewhat over the last 5 years. I've completely lost confidence in myself. I feel ugly and just not sexy at all. This makes the naughty hobby very difficult for me. What can I do to make myself feel sexy again? I need to start to love my curves as I'll never be back to my size 8. I have a few male and female friends on the scene who tell me I look great and to stop worrying. I just wished I could believe this myself. I am fine in the social area of a local club, but just freeze up when I strip off on the playroom. And that's from Miss J.
Miss J.
Miss J.
We all do that. We all freeze up.
Oh, yeah. And we all have issues with our bodies.
Absolutely. 35, you're still a spring chicken. You're a spring chicken, Miss J. I mean, I think the first thing to accept here is that we don't stay stagnant.
No.
We change all the time. We're not the same people we were when we started this podcast.
Not at all.
Even at 5 minutes ago. let alone 2 years ago when we started it. I think the first thing is to accept that we're all changing constantly all the time.
Yeah.
All of us. So, firstly, it doesn't matter, the you that you are now is probably a damn sight sexier than when you're in your 20s, because you've got all that experience, all that joy and naughtiness that you've experienced that you can share with others.
Absolutely. And there are so many different events that you can go to at the clubs. For example, we talked about Roxy earlier. Mm-hmm. Roxy does an event called Dangerous Curves.
Yeah.
And it's for
body conscious people.
So, and we're talking all types of curves.
And there are many events all over the country. So, there are many people out there. It just goes to show how many, because if no one else felt like that, there wouldn't be all these events for people that feel that way.
I mean, one thing that I love about the Naughty Hobby, and especially with the women, is, and we do say this a lot, we do straighten each other's crowns.
Yeah.
We love to compliment each other. We love to make each other feel fabulous.
And I'm going to say something about playrooms.
Okay.
Playrooms are not usually lit up like Christmas trees.
No.
So I'm going to tell a funny story.
Okay.
Our friend Saucy, it's going to be funny because it started with Saucy, was in the playroom. I know he won't mind me telling this. He was in the playroom the other day, and he was literally watching this couple just on the big bed, and they were only a few feet away from him.
Yeah.
And then he suddenly realised it was the female half of Poo-Tang. Poo-Tang are a beautiful couple who are at the club. They help out on Discord. They're moderators on Discord. And he went, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know it was you." It was like catching,
I think he said something about her fabulous bottom.
Something like that. But it just goes to show, if somebody is just a few feet away, who you know really well, they're really good friends, and you don't know who they are, then people can't really see a lot in there.
A lot of us wear glasses wearers, and when we take those glasses off,
exactly,
we can't see shit.
So I think we take into account far too much what people are seeing and what people are thinking about us, and we've just got to stop that. It is.
And a lot of time you will find, because as we say, especially in the club environment, nobody judges.
No.
And they don't judge. The trouble is we judge ourselves way too much, and it's all about getting that inner confidence. It took me a while before I started to feel confident.
I remember, and we've said the story many times, you were in tears once.
Yeah.
In our early days, we went to Dark Desires, and Mrs. N actually looked around and she's like, "Why am I not normal?" Yeah. There's people all around her having sex, and Mrs. N, suffered with the problem of her oversensitive nerve endings, and touch wood, they've been a lot better, haven't they?
Yeah, since menopause, funnily enough. They seem to have been behaving themselves.
Which is amazing.
It is.
But Mrs. N, there's no one that's been through more than you in the Naughty Hobby, and as much as you felt really unnormal.
I did.
And I hate that word, normal.
I know. But that was a lot of it myself.
Yeah.
Criticism. Rather than, it was nobody else was. But I mean, if I told a guy that I was anal only, it was like, woohoo!
And this is it. So for everyone that probably thinks, "Oh, you're not a size 8," and I guarantee there's no one thinking that.
No.
There'll be 10 people there going, "You look as hot as hell."
Absolutely.
I love curves and you look hot.
Yeah. I know we've just talked about it when we were discussing C's message, but again, I would urge you to join our Discord group, because the ladies in there honestly, if you need a pep talk on anything or some advice or whatever, they are amazing, because we've all been in the same position at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
And whenever you're feeling a little bit low or a little bit unsure of yourself, trust me, they are like your best friends.
It's a pickup. Not a pickup as in...
Choose your words carefully, Mr. N.
It's not a pickup as in, hey babe, how you doing? It's a pickup as in, I'm feeling a bit low today. Just going for a chat.
I mean, one thing that might be an idea for you to do, like you say, you do go to clubs, is maybe just do the dress down thing a bit at a time. So the first time you dress down, do it for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, see how you feel. And if you're still not feeling comfortable, go back and change.
And you don't say what you're wearing in the playroom.
No.
So I know sort of times are hard financially for a lot of people at the moment, but maybe just treat yourself to a little bit of lingerie that you feel great in. We all feel great, don't we, when we've got something new?
Yeah, I mean, we discussed this not that long ago. We were saying that women buy underwear for themselves.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that they want to look sexy for a man or whoever. It's about how it makes them feel. So it's just finding something that makes you feel sexy when you wear it.
And that could be as revealing as you want, or not revealing.
Exactly.
It can still be really, really sexy.
Yeah.
Because what you can't see sometimes is sexier than what you can see.
Very true.
So pick something, even if it's a big, long, kind of like, like those...
The girls wear these lovely cover-ups almost, don't they? Like beach cover-ups where you can obviously see...
And sometimes they're like netting, aren't they,
yes.
almost?
Lace, darling.
Lace.
Not netting.
No, but sometimes they're almost like, you can see through them. They're like a... Yeah.
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 Yeah, you can see through lace, dear. I was talking to, funnily enough, you mentioning Putang. I was talking to the female half of Putang on Saturday night. She was wearing this most amazing dress down, and it was all tassels and things. And I was just like, you look fantastic in that. And she said, this is years old. She said, they don't even make it anymore. So she said, I was happy to wear it because I know nobody else was going to walk in with it. And I said, but it just goes to show, if you've got something that makes you feel good, it doesn't matter how old it is or where it's from.
And that stuck out to you as looking like, wow.
Oh, she looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but it was almost like part bodysuit, but it had like a tassel skirt to it. So it wasn't completely revealing, but she looked amazing in it.
Loads of different dress down outfits.
It is. I mean, I very rarely tend to dress down. I'm not one for actually feeling comfortable.
That's because you just hell with it.
I know. To be honest, I just prefer to be naked, if I'm honest. I would probably myself feel more conscious if I was in a dress down.
Really?
Than I would if I was just walking around naked or in a towel.
Why do you think that is?
I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I've never really been one for sort of
stockings, suspenders and all that. Yeah.
No, I've never really been one for that, much to your disappointment, I'm sure.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm one of those people, it's just like, it's such a faff.
I'm quite a fan of you and your birthday suit.
That's all right then. That is jolly good. That is jolly good. But I do admire the women when they wear their dress down outfits, and I do compliment a lot of them when I see something that looks stunning. It doesn't matter what size it is.
I always admire the effort.
Yeah,
because what really is funny is when they take it off and go, the husband will go, should we go in the hot tub? And they go, no, bloody hell, all right then, okay. So they get all off in the towel.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes later, they're back on the bed and they're dressing all up again in the dress down.
I know. I have to mention the lovely Fanny Ann.
Okay.
Her dress down outfits, honestly, she gobsmacks me every time I see her.
I know.
And some of them have got so many bits to it, and it's almost like getting into like a fisherman's net. Because there's so many straps here, there and everywhere, and you've got to make sure you put your legs and your arms in the right bits. And I'd be like, I'd still be in the dressing room trying to figure that one out.
It's almost like a Jenga puzzle.
Yeah, it is. And it's just so, big shout out to lovely Fanny Ann, because she always makes a massive effort. But yeah, maybe try the whole, I'm going to dress down. I'll do it for sort of 10, 15 minutes. If I don't feel comfortable, I'll just go and change. If I do feel comfortable, I'll maybe last for another 5 minutes, and just see how you go. I'd highly recommend you jumping on our Discord group. I feel like we're doing a right shout out to V2V Discord this week. But it's just that I know the ladies on there.
And it is a support. It is a
massive
great support.
It is. And that's really what we're all about. It's helping people that are in the naughty hobby, and if they're just not feeling themselves or don't feel like they're getting the most out of it, we're there to hold your hand. We're there to give you that little pep talk if you need it. So, yes.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Let us know how you get on.
Absolutely. And thank you for sending us your message, my lovely.
By all means, you're welcome to send me a picture on Fab. I will have a look at you in a dress down outfit. I will be happy to, advise.
Right. Do you want to do the next one, Mr. N?
So this is from a couple called Swinger Thing 8787 on Fab. And they say, our question is, how on earth do you tell a couple we would like to take things further with them? We have stood at the bar of our local club and chatted to other couples. They seem interested in us. We have come away and said to each other, were they flirting with us? We are just not sure if we are missing signs. Should we be more direct, or would this offend? And that's from Swinger Thing 8787. I bet there'll be a lot of people.
I was just about to say, I think there's going to be an awful lot of people that are going, yeah, totally get that. Mm-hmm. We have the same problem. Mm-hmm. I mean, my personal opinion is, but this could be because we've been in the naughty hobby a lot longer, and so we are a lot more confident.
Yeah.
Sometimes direct is best.
Yeah.
Because you're all there for the same reason. Mm-hmm. And it's just easier. There's no miscommunication. There's no wondering, well, are they, aren't they? Are they flirting? Are they not flirting? Have I misunderstood what they've said? And that can just cause a whole load of hoo-ha.
Totally. I mean, I think they are a Midlands couple, so I don't know which club they go to.
Okay.
But if your club has a hot tub, I think a hot tub is a great interim for play, isn't it? So you could go from a social area to the hot tub. You're stripping off. Things are getting a little bit more sexy.
Yeah.
We've joined couples in the hot tub that we've never ever played with, probably never dreaming of playing with. They're probably never dreaming of playing with us. But we've had a lot of sort of fun in the hot tub.
It's such a good social area. But it's almost a little bit sexier. There are people that do wear underwear sometimes or costumes sometimes, which is absolutely fine. But for some reason, it does feel that little bit sexier, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, if you are chatting to a couple and you sort of say to them, well, we were thinking of going to the hot tub. Did you fancy coming along with us? It's kind of like setting the flow, if you know what I mean. I'm sure that's the right word.
The flow of the hot tub.
The flow of the hot tub. Because it's a good indication that actually if they don't really want to play with you, they might go, yeah, we might join you later. Or
I think that's what I remember back to our very, very first trip to Liberty Elite.
Oh, blimey.
So it was a first club ever. And the couple took us under their wing.
Yeah, they did.
Really lovely couple. She was beautiful.
Yes, she was.
And that was kind of like your first...
Amazing boobs.
See, you still remember.
I do remember she did have amazing boobs.
And that was your first kind of girl-on-girl experience. And they did exactly the same to us.
Yeah, they did.
They said to us, we're going in the hot tub now. Do you fancy joining us?
Yeah.
And they obviously kind of took a little bit of a liking to you, Mrs. N. And we did say at the time, we were a hot wife couple, so we explained our dynamic. We were direct. And you ended up playing with her.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It led to that. Which was our very, very first club experience.
Yeah.
And they did it in a really gentle, beautiful way.
Yeah, they did. They were absolutely amazing. And I have to give them credit for the way that they looked after us.
Yeah.
Because I think if we hadn't have done, I'm not sure how that night would have turned out. Apart from us still having half nails in the bar.
They even included us in the conversation.
Yeah, they did.
In the beginning. We just stood there like, complete lemons.
Yeah.
And I think they were talking about holidays. So they're talking to another couple and they literally just turned around to us and went, we're just talking about holidays. Have you ever been camping?
Yeah.
So pick something like food, holidays, everything that everybody does, no matter who you are, you've got a food that you like, you've got a holiday destination that you've always wanted to go to or thinking about booking, or you've been there, it's something that everybody can join in with. It's something that, all joins us together. It's a great opener for a conversation.
It is. And obviously, the thing is, not all clubs have hot tubs.
This is true.
So you may have to think of another way to sort of almost give an inkling that you'd like to spend more time with them.
Perhaps you could even say, we're going up to a playroom.
Yeah. Would you like to join us?
You needn't join in, but if you want to we're going to a playroom to chill out and...
Yeah. I just think in those circumstances, it's just so much better to be just direct.
Yeah.
Because what you don't want to do is spend a long time chatting and everything else all night, and then at the end it turns out that one or all of you aren't really interested in each other.
Yeah.
And you're going to feel like you've had probably a bit of a wasted evening, which would be really sad. So it's always best to just
put yourself out there and say what you are looking for in that night.
Yeah.
What your dynamic is, what you're looking for. Just, we're looking at a bit of soft play, or we're looking at this, that and the other. Share your dynamics, and it will soon become apparent as to whether your dynamics match theirs. We told that other couple straight away, we're a hot wife couple.
Yeah.
That was in the early days.
In the early days.
And they accepted that, still were interested in playing with us.
Yeah.
And a lot of fun happened.
It was a brilliant night, actually, and it was perfect for our first night.
I'm sure, because they were probably like a full swap couple.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they probably would have, gone further and done other things. But they respected our boundaries, knew what our dynamics were because we'd shared them.
Yeah.
So there was no miscommunication, there was no confusion.
No, absolutely.
And it all ran shipshape.
It certainly did.
Have we got another question?
We have got another question. So this one is from a couple called G and M. Okay, and they write, "Hi, Mr. and Mrs. N. We have just listened to episode 52 of your amazing podcast. We are a couple in our 50s who have dabbled in the naughty hobby for the last 8 years." I'm sure that's not you writing in.
8 years?
8 years.
That's longer than us, isn't it?
No. We got outed 3 years ago by my husband's so-called friend. Yeah. It was at a family barbecue, and he had let the cat out of the bag after drinking too much. Your podcast episode brought the difficult memories back. Like you, it cost us relationships within my family. They did not understand why we swing and were disgusted that we had sex with other people. Although they kept telling us that our life was ours to do as we wanted, it really wasn't the case, as every time we met, we would endure a string of quite cruel remarks and constantly being questioned as to whether we had considered giving up our perverted pastime. Their words, not mine. In the end, we couldn't take it anymore and told them we did not want to see them again until they could truly accept us for who we are. This message is just to say thank you for all that you do. You are an inspiration. Your honesty and openness is a lesson for all of us. It still hurts that some of my family don't talk to me, but life is certainly more calm without the drama they kept creating around us. Love, G&M.
Oh, G&M, thank you for that. That's a very heartfelt message.
Very, and it's a difficult thing to write and a difficult thing to admit to.
Yeah, we always said, didn't we, over episode 52, that we would, once that we'd drawn a line under it and we don't talk about it. Yep. It was done, it's done. But we did that in the spare of the moment, and it was a very, very important podcast. It changed our lives considerably, I think, especially you, Mrs. N, because it was your family that was involved. I certainly don't regret it. It was very honest. It was from the heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for anyone that's not listened to the podcast, go back and listen, because I don't particularly want to go into that there. But in G&M's situation, I mean, that's absolutely awful what they've faced.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that there's a very well-known saying, which is create your own pool. Create your own hot tub. We all love hot tubs. We're swingers. And so if you create your own hot tub and you're going to want to keep the water clean in that hot tub.
Very true.
You want your water clear.
You don't want jizz in there.
You don't want to be swimming in somebody's murky water.
No.
So the only way to keep your hot tub clear is be careful who you allow in your hot tub. And I'm not talking literal hot tub, I'm talking your mental hot tub. So if you've got people in there that are toxic, that create negativity, then they're going to murky your water.
Yeah, absolutely.
And nobody wants to be in a murky hot tub.
Nope.
And so you have that choice to make in what you want your life to be. We all do. And I'm going to use an example here that, if you get invited to party of the year with your favourite, I don't know, celebrity, and you go along and their hot tub is really green and horrible, but you've waited all this time to meet them, but when you get there, their hot tub is murky and green. Are you going to want to swim in their green hot tub?
Absolutely not.
And so that's the thing. You're putting that in your life, and you're getting in their hot tub as well. So you're getting in their murky water. And you don't want to spend your life swimming around in green shit.
Definitely not.
So keep your hot tub clean.
Definitely keep your hot tub clean.
And anybody who's actually had a hot tub knows how hard work they are.
Yeah.
And your life hot tub, your mental hot tub is just as difficult to keep clean. And that means sometimes you have to get rid of people. You're not going to let somebody in your hot tub that sits there bringing their Coca-Cola in, just chucking it in the water and behaving badly. You wouldn't do that. You'd say, please leave. So why do we allow that in our lives? Sometimes there's a time for people to leave, and sometimes we want to invite other people that, we click with and want to keep our hot tub clean. And so sometimes there's a time to say thank you. You need to fall out with them. It's like a car journey. You go on your car journey, but sometimes it's time for your passengers to go, okay, this is your stop.
Yeah.
And you let them get out.
Your journey is now, your journey with me is now finished.
Yes. Yeah. And then you carry on to your destination. Their destination might be different to yours. And that's how I equate it.
I mean, I'm quite happy to say that, 2 years on, almost, the relationship with my family is still not resolved. However, I would still not change anything, because the life that we have, especially in the naughty hobby, and the friends and everything else that we have who support us and love us for who we are, it's such a powerful thing. And, I live in hope that one day they will accept me and you for who we are.
We change all the time, don't we?
We do.
I think one of the things, going back to the earlier question, is we never stay the same as people.
Yeah.
We're constantly evolving, we're constantly changing. And so, like we've said with the car journey analogy, sometimes you either grow together or you grow apart. So sometimes you just become different people.
Yeah.
And that doesn't just happen in a marriage or a sexual relationship. That can happen with family as well. And there seems to be this thing where, and I'm directly talking to G&M here. Yeah. Is that people say, oh, well, blood's thicker than water and everything else. And, oh, well, it's family. And you do have a very tight bond with your family, because it's your connection often to your childhood, it's your connection to early memories, and it's a very special bond. But also as well, if you just carry on growing apart, that can be difficult. If one element of your family, in their case, wants to act out control, which they clearly do, you know, because they're not allowing them to be themselves. They're influencing what they're trying to do. They're probably not aware that they're doing it. Yeah. But if they're making remarks like that and making people feel uncomfortable, there's no reason, there's no need for that.
No, exactly.
And that shows an unhappiness in their lives.
Yes.
Not you, G&M.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
If you need to pull somebody down, then you should really look at what the problems are in your life.
Very well said, Mr. N.
I wish them well.
Absolutely. You will be fine. At the end of the day, it's about you guys. It's about what makes you happy. And the people that are around you make you happy. Mm-hmm. So don't go getting in anybody's green hot tub.
Thank you to everybody that sent a message in.
Yeah. We love getting your messages and
questions.
Yeah.
If you've got a question about the naughty hobby, then you can send it to us at naughtycouple, NAUGHTY, naughtycp1 at yahoo.com, or you can just go straight onto our website, v2v.uk now.
Yeah, we're probably not as good as Roxy, but
I know. You see, years ago I used to have to read all the Twitter X thing, but Elon's busy now. He's got a new best friend. And so I had to create our own website.
You did.
Still love you, Elon.
Behave.
BFF.
Right, before we get any more political, I've read an article recently, which was quite interesting, that I just thought I'd...
Has the naughty hobby been in the press again, or is this what is this?
Well, kind of, yes, but it was all about an article from a lady where she said that there is a difference between consent and enthusiastic consent.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of enthusiastic consent?
Enthusiastic consent. Oh, that's like fuck me now.
No, funnily enough, it isn't.
Really?
And this is what I found really interesting, because even I didn't realise that I've actually done enthusiastic consent before.
Okay.
So basically, enthusiastic consent is when you go ahead and have sex with somebody, but you're not necessarily in the mood at that point, but you don't want to let them down, so you carry on.
Taking one for the team. Yeah,
so that, I mean, we would normally call it taking one for the team, but it actually is known as enthusiastic consent.
I suppose taking one for the team is when you're swapping, isn't it? And you've got somebody that you're perhaps not initially sexually attracted to, but your partner's loving their life.
Yeah, and I think if a lot of the listeners, if they were truly honest, there's a good majority that have gone, yeah, I've done that. I think we've all been there at one point or another.
So I suppose enthusiastic consent is you could be single, and do it, and right, okay. So where is this article from?
So this article is from the Independent.
Oh no!
So not the normal Daily
newspaper.
Mail like we used to do.
I hate that newspaper.
I know.
Legacy media. We hate legacy media.
So, it's just interesting how she talks about the difference between it and the fact that I'd never heard of enthusiastic consent, but I now have to officially admit that, I have been there and I have done that.
Okay.
So she goes on to say, by her definition, not all consensual sex is enthusiastic. Sometimes consensual sex is comforting, gentle, quiet, or sensual. Sometimes it might be a bit routine or perhaps functional. Trying for a baby, for example, can take a lot of the fun out of it. Apparently, it was a sex worker who first introduced the lady to the idea of enthusiastic consent. So they said that it's a job, and like any other profession, there are days when work is a bit of a chore, and you still choose to turn up and do the work because that's how you've decided to earn your living.
Okay.
So a lot of sex workers go through that whole enthusiastic.
I'm still learning this. I'm still processing all this.
I know, but this is it, because this is all new to me, because I'd never heard of the word.
Surely if you are a sex worker, though, obviously it's consent. You're doing it, but you're doing it for money, for monetary
exactly
value.
And I must admit, I've always had this fascination. So, I mean, I'd love to actually talk to a sex worker.
We have had a sex worker on the show.
Yeah, we have, haven't we? We've had an escort. Yeah. Because in my head, I'm thinking, surely there might be ones there that you're not really that attracted to or really into, but you still go ahead and do it. You see, I don't think I could do that.
The ladies we've talked to who were involved, they said that they love sex. So part of the job, isn't it?
It is. I wonder if it's one of those things like, sometimes people are born to do a certain job. Like it's kind of built in them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of like caring or, surgeons or podcasting. I'm wondering if it's the same sort of thing. So that some people are just born to do that kind of profession.
Maybe.
Anyway, she goes on to say it probably doesn't help that enthusiasm can be easily faked. So she goes on about the famous scene when Harry met Sally, when Meg Ryan's character fakes an orgasm.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly, this is something that she and all of her straight female friends have done.
A large percentage, we've read that before, haven't we? A massive percentage of women have faked orgasms.
They reckon like 58% of women.
So it's well over half.
Yeah. So she goes on to say that she can think of many times that she's consented to sexual activities that she hasn't been 100% enthusiastic about, but happy to do. So, we need to make it important that she's not doing it against her will.
Yeah, consent
she's happy
is consent.
to do it, but she's just not feeling...
It's the Independent. This is the paper that you wrap your vegan chips in. Okay, I've just upset a load more people. But is this turning a little bit, a bit new age for my liking?
Are you going down the woke thing?
Yeah. I mean, consent is consent, isn't it? It's either yes or no. If you're lying there and thinking of England while it's all happening, or Elon Musk, whatever floats your boat.
Thanks. Yeah, but you see, she said you can't simplify it like that.
But consent legally, you've got the legal argument as well.
You have.
Of consent, which is obviously consent isn't a one-stop shop, is it? So if a woman halfway through sex or a man suddenly decides that they don't want to continue, then you've lost consent legally.
Yes, and they are free to do that.
Yeah.
At any time. You are always free to suddenly go, actually, do you know what? I'm okay, I'm done.
I've just done the shopping list in my head.
Yes.
You're going to have to stop now. I'm off to Tesco's. Every little helps. So obviously consent it's a fluid thing. Consent is.
Yeah.
You can withdraw consent at any time. But so I can understand the enthusiastic consent thing.
Do you think
consent's still consent?
It is.
To me, that can muddy the waters a bit. I remember we had a couple on a private meet who came to our house, and the lady had no enthusiasm whatsoever.
No, she didn't.
And that just killed the atmosphere for me. And literally, that was the end of it. Yeah. It's like, well, I'm not interested if you're not interested. And that was the end of our meet.
It was. I'm just thinking, though, do you think there's an air of expectation there as well? Because she goes on to say that obviously it's quite common in people that have long-term relationships. So people describe him feeling a constant pull between wanting to keep their partner happy and wishing they could just say, oh, not tonight, without the guilt that's followed.
This is I'm going back to a very sexist, age-old argument that a housewife used to be almost like a prostitute because the man would come home and expect sex from her, expect the house to be clean and all that old misogyny type thing. And so they go through the motions. Hopefully we've moved on from that.
Well, I would like to think so.
And everyone's a little bit more balanced and a lot happier in their lives. But then you can take this enthusiastic consent thing. Is this a little bit wokey? I'm feeling a little bit male ponytail and sandals at the moment. This is where I'm going. I don't know.
I just wonder, it was just interesting to read, but it does make me wonder if we're talking about the naughty hobby, that have people that have been to a club and met people, have they had enthusiastic consent? Or...
I mean, for me, you've got to be extremely thick-skinned. I'm not thick-skinned in as much as I'm very sensitive on picking things up from people.
Yes, you are, very, incredibly.
So I can often know what someone's thinking before they know what they're thinking.
I mean, you know me so well, so you know if I'm not really enjoying something.
Yes.
You can tell.
I think a lot of people, though, in the naughty hobby have got that connection with their partners where they can tell what they're thinking, because it's something that we almost have to train in. We have to be like little Jedis that go, are you wanting this? Are you not wanting this? Do you like this other couple? Are we shagging or are we going home? And it'll either be, the glare or the happy stare.
It's so true. It's so true. But I wanted to talk a little bit about expectations, because we always say to people, when you go to a club, don't go with expectations.
That's a really good piece of advice.
It's such a huge thing, because if you go there with expectations, 9 times out of 10, you could possibly be really disappointed.
It's not just for that reason, though, is it?
No.
To go, you could go to Alton Towers, which is a theme park if you're in America. But over here we have Alton Towers. It's like Disney World, but a bit crapper.
It's a lot crapper than Disney World.
Exactly. There's no Mickey Mouse. But, you could say, well, I'm going to the theme park and I've got no expectations, so I'm just enjoying myself.
Yeah.
But it's not the same in the naughty hobby. You don't say it for the same reason.
No.
Because if you go with expectations, you're going looking for something.
Yes.
So when you're looking for a sexy time, you can be looking a little bit pushy. You can be looking a little bit needy.
Yeah.
And that is the most unattractive thing. So when we say go with no expectations, it really is. So you are not terribly disappointed, but also secondly as well, that you're not kind of pushing yourself onto people.
Yeah.
You're not looking for that sexual contact, because if it happens, it happens, and it's amazing. And I guarantee everybody listening who is kind of just stepping out into the naughty hobby and just thinking about it, natural connections and natural, how it all happens naturally, is a damn sight sexier, and you'll have a hell of a lot more fun if it's all spontaneous than if you're kind of like, okay, I want to go tonight and I want to do this and that, and twist her upside down and get her on this and that and the other. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. And this is one of the other reasons why we wanted to do the podcast in the beginning. It's not just for people in the naughty hobby. It's for people that are vanilla, people that don't understand how it works, because still today, which amazes me, there are so many people out there that still think if you're a swinger, you shag anything that moves.
That's so true.
And it frustrates me so much, because it's like you have no idea it's so much more than that.
You're a swinger, you obviously have no expectations. How many messages do we get on Fab where they will say, do you want to meet?
Yeah.
Obviously, our photo is on our Fab, our face picture. There's no face photos of them.
Nope.
And they go, do you want to meet? So in other words, they've looked at your picture, totally selfishly gone, yeah, I fancy a bit of that. Looked at your photo, gone, yeah, I'm going to shag that. Sent the message, do you want to meet? They not have one moment actually thought to themselves, they don't know what I look like.
Yeah.
What do they like? I don't know what they like. It's just, do you want to meet?
Yeah.
That says everything. That says that person has a very selfish mentality.
Yeah.
They're not thinking of what the other person wants. And guys, if you're listening to this, guys and girls, do yourself a favour. When you get those messages, instead of just hitting the block button straight away, actually just write a pre-thing done of, so you don't have to type it all out, a pre-thing message of, that comes across really selfish.
Yeah. Let
the people know, because the more that they understand that...
Well, it's about educating people.
Yeah. Hopefully they will eventually learn their lesson of, okay, I'm going to change my intro a bit. It won't work for everyone, because some people are dickheads. but a lot of people, might just eventually pick up on it if, like, the 30th or 40th time,
It's true. I think that's a really good piece of advice.
We're all here to teach. We're all here to learn. We're all here to teach. And if we don't teach people, eventually the error of where their ways, they're just going to piss off a million more people.
Yeah, this is true. I still want to conquer the world and make everybody vanilla understand the naughty hobby. Maybe I need to talk to Elon Musk.
Elon. It's nearly Valentine's Day, Elon.
Oh, grief.
Oh, Mrs. N.
Oh.
We've just about run out of time.
We have, but before we go, we just need to let people know what the next events are coming up, Mr. N.
Oh, my goodness. So.
Super excited.
Wow. March is going to be a big one.
Yay.
We have got 3 events in March. 3. You hear that? 3 events in March.
Yeah, you can't get away from us.
So, it all begins on March the 7th and 8th. Brand new venue. We promised you, we're all going on a Naughty Hobby tour, a Naughty Hobby tour, a Naughty Hobby tour. We promised you that. We're taking you on a Naughty Hobby tour. We are going to the amazing hotel in Bewdley.
We are.
We're not going to tell you what it is. It's a naughty hotel in Bewdley in Worcestershire.
Well, it's not a naughty hotel at all.
No, it's a very vanilla hotel.
Yes, but we're taking the naughtiness to it.
Yes, we're bringing the naughtiness to a very nice hotel, very luxurious hotel.
Beautiful.
And we've hired the whole damn thing for Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah.
So Friday night, we are doing, it is the Velvet Vixen weekend.
I love that. I just love it.
The Velvet Vixen weekend. Even sounds sexy. So Friday night, if you're a bit of a stag and a vixen couple, but a bit naughty, you know, hot wives, you know, stag husbands that like setting up and watching their hot wives and all that, Friday night is going to be perfect for you because we have got single guys, very carefully selected.
Yes.
Very scrutinized them.
Yeah.
These single guys, they are cool. They understand the naughty hobby. They would not dream of sending a "do you want to meet" without seeing your picture. None of those guys. We've got cool guys at Velvet Vixens, and we've got beautiful single ladies, and we've got beautiful couples. We've got couples that like couples as well. So it's a mixed night on Friday night, and we've also got then. It's not over. We've got Saturday night because we're going to be dead after this one.
I was just going to say, you might find us slumped to the corner somewhere.
Saturday night is going to be just for couples and single ladies. Okay, so if you're a couple and a single lady, you can do Friday night and Saturday night and be dead like us.
It's a perfect place to make a complete weekend.
Absolutely. If you're a single gentleman, you could come along on Friday night. And there's so much to do in Bewdley.
Yeah.
And you've got lots of things there. You've got a steam railway. You've got the Westmoreland Safari Park just down the road.
Yeah.
You've got beautiful shops in the area. You've got a town just next door that's got a full-time fun fair. You've got loads of things to do. It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
It is beautiful.
Some beautiful little cafes and things like that. You can make a full day of this if you want to. So in the daytime, you can sort of mull around the town, enjoy the scenery in the town. It's a beautiful scenery there. And then at night, attend the Velvet Vixen night. And then if you want to, you can stay on and do Friday and Saturday if you're a couple and a single lady. And it's just going to be the best. And more importantly, it's going to be an intimate venue. It
is an intimate venue.
So it's not one of our Vanilla to Vixen nights where there's hundreds and hundreds of people. This is going to be more intimate, and we're not going to overfill it.
No. Mr. N.
Guest list is strictly limited. So we want a comfortable amount of people. There's going to be a DJ mix from yours truly. Classic and contemporary R&B, bit of disco hits. Get you dancing. And then we've got the whole place, and we're turning part of it, that's all I can say, part of it into a really specially lit, sexy playrooms, and there's going to be all sorts. It's going to just be fun and naughtiness personified. You're not going to want to miss this.
No, absolutely, you do not want to miss this.
So it's Friday and Saturday. If you're interested and if you want to come along, check out v2v.uk. All the details are on there. How to contact us is on v2v.uk, our brand new website. All the details are on there, how to book, how to get on the guest list, and everything you need to know.
Yeah, brilliant.
And then we're going to revive ourselves.
Yeah.
Because it's nearly Easter. Like Jesus, we're coming back. On the 14th of March, we have got the Vegas Vixen Hollywood party.
Yes, it's Hollywood night.
Hollywood night at Liberty Elite Vegas Vixens. We're going to play a few games, so nobody's sitting there like lemons in the corner.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to do the celebrity couple thing again because nobody knew whose other halves they were. It was rubbish.
Yeah, we did the celebrity couples last year where, so I was like, if you got Sylvester Stallone, you had to try and find Bridget Nielsen. But nobody knew who was married to who.
No.
And then somebody got Liz Taylor and was looking for like
8 different husbands.
Yeah, it was a disaster.
Yeah, we'll try something different this time.
A disaster. We're not doing that again. So it's Hollywood night, Vegas Vixen night on Friday. That's a Friday.
Yeah.
So again, we're welcoming single guys, limited amount, single guys, sexy couples and sizzlingly hot single ladies.
Yes, there will be naughty prizes to be won.
Absolutely. Again, all the details are on v2v.uk.
Yeah.
That's a number 2, V2V. Just 3 characters there. .uk. Send us a message and we would love to see you at any of those events.
Exactly. It is going to be a red carpet event, so dress for the red carpet.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be, we are literally going to be dead.
Mrs. N's even bought a new frock.
I have bought a new frock.
So it's going to be hot.
Yeah, the ladies have been asking me to give them a teaser.
Really?
So all I will say, as I said to the ladies on Discord, it matches my eyes.
Okay.
And it has a slit all the way up to my...
a slit up to slit? Slit to slit? Is this not V to V? It's slit to slit. It's very rude.
That's all I'm saying.
And on that bombshell, it really is time for us to say goodbye.
It is.
We wish all our beautiful V2Vers a very happy Valentine's Day.
Yes.
We hope you find your Valentine. And if you've already got your Valentine, like me and Mrs. N, then I hope you're doing lots of rude things to each other. We will see you next week, everybody.
Yeah. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.